Your children will continue. We will continue. The next topic is amplitude. What is amplitude? Suppose you take a mount a scale at the end of a table and you hit this scale. The scale comes down, it starts vibrating, it comes down, it goes up. Now the maximum displacement, how much it comes down and how much it goes up. This displacement is called amplitude. So what is amplitude? The maximum displacement of a vibrating body from the mean position. What is the mean position? Mean position is the rest position. This position is called the mean position. So, how much the body moves up and how much the body moves down. This is called amplitude. The maximum displacement of a vibrating body from the mean position. So, we have studied three definitions. We studied vibration. It's the back and forth motion of a body is called vibration. Frequency, the number of vibrations made by the vibrating body in 1 second is called frequency. And what is amplitude? It is the maximum displacement of a vibrating body from the mean position. How much it moves up, how much it moves down. And the SI unit of amplitude, remember whenever you study a definition, the SI unit of amplitude is meter. So, we studied what is vibration, what is frequency, what is amplitude. Now we come back to the two quantities of sound. One is pitch and one is loudness. Now, women and children, the type of sound they have, it is called high pitch sound. Now, why do women have high pitch? Pitch. High pitch is due to high frequency. High pitch is due to high frequency. Suppose a person is able to shout loudly, that type of sound, that high pitch sound. It's because of high frequency. When the frequency is high, the pitch will be high. When the frequency is low, the pitch will be low. So, like men have low pitch. They have low pitch. Women have high pitch. So, women have high pitch because when they speak, they have more frequency. For example, if women, they speak with a frequency of 15,000 Hertz, men may speak with a frequency of around 8,000 Hertz. It varies from person to person, but women will have higher pitch, men will have lower pitch. Now, pitch of sound depends upon frequency. Higher the pitch, higher frequency. Children and women, they have high pitch because of high frequency. Now, the next quality of sound is loudness. Does loudness of sound depend upon? Loudness depends upon amplitude. Loudness depends upon one, amplitude, and two, area of sounding body. We have discussed what is amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of a vibrating body from the mean position. So now, higher the amplitude, higher will be the loudness. Lower the amplitude, lower will be the loudness. So loudness of sound depends upon amplitude. Second, area of the sounding body. Suppose a body has a large area. If you hit it, if the area of the sounding body is large, the loudness will be more. If the area of the sounding body is less, loudness will be less. So loudness of sound depends upon amplitude and area of sounding body. At home you must have noticed that among your parents, your father will have a loud sound. Because when your father speaks, or when I speak, or when any male person speaks, he will speak with a higher amplitude. The amplitude of the vocal cord will be high. Vocal cords makes the noise. Now, area of the sounding body, the larynx, the size of the larynx in males will be bigger. So loudness depends upon two things: amplitude, area of sounding body. If the amplitude is higher, loudness will be higher. If the amplitude is low, loudness will also be low. Area of the sounding body, if the area of the sounding body is more, loudness will also be more. If the area of sounding body is less, the loudness will be less. Previous to this, we had studied about pitch. If the pitch is high, that means there is higher frequency. If there is lower frequency, the pitch will also be low. Now next important thing which you will study is sound needs a material medium for transmission. We have studied that there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. And the absence of matter is called vacuum. V-A-C-W-M. Remember, many of you write the spelling as V-A-C-C-U-M. It is V-A-C-W-M. V-A-C-U-U-M. Vacuum. Vacuum means absence of matter. You know that matter exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. The absence of matter is called vacuum. For sound to travel, there should be a medium. There should be a solid medium, or a liquid medium, or a gas medium. If there is no medium, in a vacuum sound cannot travel. For that, an experiment has been given in a book. Whether you have a bell jar, inside the bell jar, a bell is placed. A bell with the gong is placed, and inside the bell jar is also connected to a vacuum pump. It's connected to a vacuum pump. When the bell is rung, you can hear the sound. But when you start withdrawing the air from the jar through the vacuum pump, the loudness of sound starts decreasing till you are not able to hear it. So why don't you hear it? Because when the entire air comes out through the vacuum pump, there is no medium. And because there is no medium, sound cannot travel. So remember, one important point which you have to remember is, sound requires a material medium for transmission. Note, that is important point. Sound needs a material medium. Material medium means it can be solid, it can be liquid, or it can be gas. Material medium for transmission. Transmission means going from one place to another. This transmission requires a material medium. Now, okay, now from the book we are going to study some topics. What is sound? We have discussed. Sound is produced by vibrating objects. We have studied that all sound is caused by vibration. When any object vibrates, sound is produced. Next, sound can be produced by the following methods. How can sound be produced? By vibrating strings, by vibrating air columns like in a flute. जो बांसुरी होता है, flute. When you start playing the flute, there is an air column inside the flute, and this air column starts vibrating and produces sound. So strings, like in a guitar, when you play a guitar, you have strings. When you play the violin, you have got strings. Guitar, you have strings. You have got strings in a sitar. So by vibrating strings, when you play a flute, you have your air column vibrating. Then by vibrating membrane, for example, in a tabla, when you take a tabla, you have a membrane on the top of the tabla. When this membrane starts vibrating, sound is produced. And the fourth is by vibrating plates, like in a bicycle bell. When you ring the bell, the gong goes and hits the hammer, and then the sound is produced. So by vibrating bell. Now propagation of sound, we studied that sound needs a material medium to travel, propagate. It can be a solid, it can be a liquid, or it can be a gas. You must have seen children putting the ears on the desk and hitting on the desk and they can hear the sound. It's a solid mode of transmission of sound. In the same way when we speak, in the air the sound travels. Even in the water sound travels. The dolphins and all, they are able to listen to the sound in the water. So 3 modes of transmission of sound. Now sound produced by human beings. Now where does our sound come from? We have something called larynx. L-A-R-Y-N-X. This larynx, it is also called, this larynx is also called voice box. It is located here. This larynx, I have just draw it. This larynx, the vocal cords are there. When the vocal cords, when air passes through these vocal cords, this vocal cord starts vibrating. And this the vibration of